Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me in the back? Yes? Okay, cool beans. I got a thumbs up from Nancy Culp. That's a good thing. Well, good morning and welcome to Myers Park Baptist and to Heaton Hall, our lovely room here where we have so many wonderful programs. And we have one of those with us this morning that we're going to do. And as you all have been reading about, from the communications within the church, the website, social media, emails, and so forth, we have with us today a prominent person in Charlotte's, not only Charlotte's immigration community, but also Charlotte's business community at large. And this, as I was telling Tammy Lassane before we got underway here this morning, I had first heard of Manolo about a year ago and had thought, you know, he'd be good to come into the Faith and Community Forum. And but two or three times over the last year, I tried to get things going and nothing seemed to be, didn't seem to come together. So I just let it go. And then I got about 3 weeks ago, you know what, I need to reach out to him. Now's the time. But who knew what was going to happen? I mean, so that's just crazy the way things work out sometimes. But maybe it's synchronicity at work. But in any case, it's really been a week in Charlotte, hasn't it? Oh, boy. Well, Manolo was going to come and be with us, and he has a slide program that he does when he speaks to churches or nonprofits. And he was going to make that presentation like he usually does. And given the events of the past week or so, he decided that you guys might rather hear more about what he and his family and his community has been through over the past 8 days. And so that's sort of a little pivot we're doing, and we're going to hear him speak primarily about that. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of background information about Manolo and his journey to get to Charlotte, and then we'll go ahead and get started. But Manolo is a native of the country of Colombia and lived there, born and raised, grew up there, even served at one point in the Navy, the Colombian Navy, and he eventually, like a lot of other people, fled the political violence that was taking place there, came to the United States, came to Miami first, and then eventually went to, he spent time at King College, which is a small Presbyterian college in Bristol, Tennessee, and graduated with a degree from there. And then not long after that, a few years after that, he enrolled at Stanford University in a business entrepreneurship program, and that prepared him to start his own business and to know how to run a small business. And so he moved to Charlotte, and he had a dream. He was very much wanted to come in and contribute to the community, to the city, and so forth. Now, yes, he opened a business. He wanted to make some money to, provide for himself and his family, but he's not one of these people who money is the end-all and be-all. He has other values that are like faith and community, and he has demonstrated that in his time in Charlotte because he's been involved not just in helping out people in the immigrant community, but in helping people throughout all of Charlotte. As an example of that, during the pandemic, he donated and worked with the World Central Kitchen to provide hot meals to low-income families who were in need all over Charlotte, and still running a business at the same time. And in his spare time, a few years later, he worked with the ReCare initiative and delivered humanitarian aid to Ukraine. Now, I will tell you this, it's not well known. I didn't talk about it in the emails I've sent out. Just this year, there has been a documentary short, it's about 16, 17 minutes long, made about Manolo and his journey and his coming to Charlotte and his bakery in Charlotte. And that documentary short has already been making the festival rounds. It was out in Telluride, Colorado at their Mountain Film Festival and won an award there. It was at Woods Hole Film Festival in Massachusetts, won an award there. It's going to make its Charlotte premiere January 17th, which is a Saturday, in 2 more months. So it's going to be held at the Carolina Theater in the Center City, that new beautiful theater. So I would encourage you to go to see that, and you'll learn a lot of what might have been in his presentation and slideshow this morning. You will see in that short, and also I wanted to mention that earlier this year in 2025, USA Today every year does their Best of series. In terms of bakeries, they awarded Manolo's Bakery the second best bakery in the United States this year. This morning, Manolo brought with him some help, and his daughter Julia, who's 14 years old, is with us right over here at this table. Will you wave everybody? Wave to everybody. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome Manolo to the platform here, and please join me in giving a very hearty welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You are going to be hearing a lot the word thank you this morning from me. Before I start telling you what we went through all this week, I'm going to tell you a dream that I had 1 month ago. I went to a Presbyterian university when I didn't speak any English. I came to America knowing just the number from 1 to 10, saying my name is Manolo, and that's it. That was all my English. And I had $900 in my pocket. And as I was learning English, I started hearing a lot of people in Tennessee, God talk to me. And I was, what is going on with these people? How they hear God? And 1 month ago, I had a dream with my father who passed away 10 years ago. We were sitting in a coffee shop, and there was a lot of people walking in front of us. And my dad was telling me, son, I'm bringing you a message from God. Yo, what is going on? You sound like those people in Tennessee. And then my dad was, seriously, I'm bringing you a message from God. Well, what is going on, Dad? Tell me, what is the dream? I said, do you see all those people wearing jeans and regular clothes? Yes, I see. So what is the message? Do not be worried. God wants for you to know, don't be worried, because he's sending you an army of angels who is wearing jeans and regular clothes. An army of angels is what we had this week next to us here in Charlotte. All of you are our angels. I mean, for our immigrant community in Charlotte, all of you have been our angels. I have never seen that many people caring about us. We used to feel alone. We used to feel in the shadows. I mean, our immigrant community. I never thought I was going to be seeing all this army of Americans, young kids, next to us, fighting with us, crying with us. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So now I told you about the dream. I didn't sign any kind of document and any kind of contract to be taking this position in the nation. I'm just a baker that owns a bakery that loves this nation, loves the American dream, and I came to this nation to chase the American dream because USA is the land of opportunity. That's what I learned when I was a kid. I went to work yesterday, a week ago, Saturday. I didn't sleep that much that morning. I woke up 2 in the morning. I went to my parking lot 4 in the morning just to make sure that there were no cars in my parking lot and my team and my employees were going to be safe. So by 5, when all the bakers started arriving, everything was good. The day before, I had a flat tire, so I went to take the car to Central Avenue to the shop to get it fixed. By 9 in the morning, when I was walking, going back to the bakery, towards the bakery, from nowhere, these SUVs and vans unmarked started approaching people walking on the street. People like me, with my color, with my accent, and maybe many of those people were my customers, were on their way to the bakery to get their cakes for their kids that day. And when these vans approached the people, the pedestrians, they just threw them down to the floor, hand-cut them, and they disappeared. It was an average of maybe 10 cars in Central Avenue. That was very, very scary moment for me. I'm a second lieutenant from the Colombia Special Forces. I was 14 the first time I saw 6 people got killed in front of my eyes because I come from a war country. I went to Ukraine. I have been in Ukraine 3 times. And what I saw in Central Avenue here in Charlotte, in our streets, it was pure evil. It was people that we don't know who they are. They didn't approach us. They didn't approach them, and they didn't even ask the names. Just they threw them down to the floor. I left the morning like telling my wife, "Oh, I'm good because I'm an American citizen, and I am carrying my American passport. So if they approach me, I'm going to show them that I'm an American citizen." I don't know why they didn't throw me down to the floor. I really don't know why. But when I became an American citizen, I swear to the same flag and to the same Constitution than you guys. And nowhere in the Constitution it says because the color of my skin I had to carry an ID. Yeah? It's our new reality. And it's very, very, very painful. It's getting worse to get in Central Avenue than get into Ukraine. I live in fear, and I'm an American citizen. Imagine how our immigrants live. If they knew about some criminals, if they knew about some bad people here in Charlotte, why just didn't send information to CMPD? There is a bad guy in Central Avenue, and we are going to pick that guy. I don't want bad people next to me, next to my kids. Nobody wants criminals. I want safe borders too. But there is no justification for the children that lost their fathers and their mothers this week. This past Friday, I threw away 10 cakes to the trash. And all those cakes say, "Happy birthday, son, happy birthday, daughter." I'm pretty sure some of those people that got kidnapped by the system were fathers that were in their way to the bakery to get those cakes. Imagine how those kids feel that their father and their mother never went back. It's not right. It's not America. I choose to move to America. There is a huge planet, and there's hundreds of countries. I had chosen any other country, an easier country like, Spain. I wouldn't have to learn a new language. And I wouldn't be like, I could have been easier for me to move around. But I choose this country because when I was a kid, I learned that this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Then this flag represents freedom. People around the world believe in the American flag, and in Colombia, we don't think that French represents freedom. USA represents freedom. I knew that I came to this country with $900 in my pocket. It was going by my oldest brother. Now, my 3 businesses combined is almost $3 million in sales. I had done my homework. So for all of those, there is a big, huge lack of education. Just this past Thursday, I went to a Thanksgiving dinner, and I was sitting with a lot of people. I was the only immigrant sitting at that table, and this lady said, I thought that we're just coming to the cartels. There are no cartels in Central Avenue. There's no drug cartels in Central Avenue. There are good tacos and good cakes. A lot of good food over there, a lot of happiness. Yeah. So a lot of people I have been picking up a lot of haters too, even death threats, and people following me. And they say me, why just don't do it the legal way? So I've been inviting everybody to try to find what is the legal way to come to America. I became an American citizen in 2007, after I had a deportation order. I came with a student visa. Then when I moved from Tennessee to North Carolina, my immigration attorney didn't tell immigration that I switched states. So immigration didn't find me for an interview for me to get the document. But when I moved here to Charlotte, they found me for a deportation order. So I had to go through a federal court 2 years, spend $20,000, a very expensive but very good attorney. And then after 3 courts, final trial, the judge says, Manolo, tell me your story. So I told him how I behaved, what I had done. And the judge says to me, well, Manolo, first of all, thank you so much for everything that you have done for our nation. You are a very good example for many Americans to follow. We made a mistake, so I'm making you an American citizen. That's how I became an American citizen. But listen, that was 2007. When you become an American citizen, you can apply for your brothers, for your father and your mother, so they can come to America with documents. We are in 2025, and my brother is still waiting for the interview. This is how broken our system is. There is no work visas. Work visas are just for doctors, people with a lot of money and connections, and some white, rich farmers that can pay the government to bring farmers to abuse them, at the Christmas tree, peaches, apples, and the farm industry. I know that very well because I did AmeriCorp at the Appalachian Trails and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Are you wondering why they came here to Charlotte, to our Central Avenue, South Trio, South Boulevard, but why they haven't been in the farms? Why they just choose Charlotte and they didn't choose all these farms around? In many ways, I'm so happy that all these immigrants, right now we are in the Christmas tree If you go to towns just 2 hours away from us, there's thousands of immigrants there. Then they live under one landlord, then use them to work on the Christmas tree. But I didn't go to the Blue Ridge Parkway. They just choose us to bring us terror. They just choose. But they weren't expecting that this community is full of love or full of brave people, and we are the homes of the hornets. This whistle became very powerful. And they just like to be powerful. They just want to show power in front of brown people like me. But if it weren't for all the white people that came to stand up in front of my bakery, they would have gotten inside my bakery. They would go out and got me too. Or maybe my kids, or maybe my wife, or my employees. I know mothers that they have lost their husbands. And they are the mothers of 5 American citizen kids. If this system takes those mothers away, what are we going to do with those kids? Those kids are our kids. Those kids are our future. They're our treasure, and we must protect those children. I can lose my business, I can lose my money, I can lose the building, whatever. But I cannot lose my dream, having these children happy in this nation that they know as their nation. So we are under a lot of stress. We were in hell, but we play music every night at the bakery. We were ready to cry, and we have cried a lot this week. And we are hugging each other. Our non-profits need your support. There is not enough non-profits, and there is not enough people to face this situation. We weren't ready for something this huge and this evil. Our small businesses need your pockets. I promise you, like I told you, the cakes and the tacos are better in East Charlotte and South Charlotte than anywhere else. I don't even know how we, as a community, gonna be helping all our kids, the trauma that they went through and the traumas that our children have right now. How you can justify and how you can help the children that lost their father and their mother. Remember, 90% of the people that immigrate to America is because they come from a war country, because maybe their daughters were getting raped by the guns, by the cartels, or because, a farmer told him, come to work in my ranch and help me with this. These people are calling us illegals, but they don't know calling themselves, we are illegal because we are employing illegals. It's so easy to clean your hands when they say, I just pay the subcontractor, and the subcontractor, who knows who is employing them. Yeah, the people that do that is equally illegal than us. It's too easy to be in a place where everybody loves you. I invite you, all of you, to invite me to all those places that people don't like immigrants. I would love to go there and share them who we are. We need to work as a nation to find peace again. If there is a relative, a friend, or somebody that you know that don't like immigrants, hug them. A lot of questions. I had too many questions this week. If you had a chance to talk to Donald Trump, what would you say? No, I invite him to the bakery. I want for him to be in my bakery. I want Stephen Miller and everybody in Central Avenue so they can realize how hard we work, how much we love this nation, and how much we contribute to this country. A lot of people say, you guys don't pay Social Security. USA allows anyone, it doesn't matter your status, to get a W-7. So you pay Social Security, Medicaid, unemployment. And then, of course, you get your W-2. But because you don't have a Social Security, you're never going to get those benefits back. Through the pandemic, no one from the immigrant community got any benefits from the government. So who is stealing from whom? We need to stop this hypocrisy. And we need to start facing. But we are good people. We believe in God. We believe in family. We believe in American values. We really want to find, an immigration reform. It hasn't been, nobody has done for anything from the immigration in the last 40 years. The last president was Ronald Reagan. So please, if you guys want to do something for us, I just give you some ideas, and I'm more than happy to start answering questions. Thank you so much.
We do have some time for some questions. This way. Go this way. All right. We have some time for some Q&A. So would someone like to get us going here? I'll bring you the microphone. I see Jane Summy tentatively raising her hand back there. Okay.
Just a practical question. Did I hear that there is a prayer vigil tonight in your parking lot at 6:30?
Thank you for the question. They have been doing a lot of things at the bakery, and I'm not scheduling anything of that. It has been such an honor knowing that the bakery became this symbol of hope for the community, and symbol of people bringing love to us. But it has been so hard because people coming to me, approaching me, why you allow people to have the Mexican flag there? Why you people have the Salvadorian flag? Why you allow people to have hate messages, all those things? And it has been enough, going through all of this. I'm not one to tell people, what to do in their lives. And I have given a lot of thinking to this. I even called CMPD and I said, look, please keep all of us safe. And I go to home so worried, and please God, nothing crazy, nothing bad happen at the corner of the bakery, because that will be, giving fuel and ammunition to them to come back to us and say, oh, you see, you guys are criminals. And but it has been bothering me a lot too. I love the American flag, and seeing the flags from another countries, so I had to give in a lot of thinking. But these kids are honoring their fathers, their grandpas' backgrounds. And we need to, and the first thing that we are doing here is fighting for the number one part of our Constitution, freedom of speech. And if they have all this power to bring evil to us, the last thing that we can do is just party, next to the Mexican flag. So my mom told me, don't feel so bad about that, Manolo. I called her this week because there's nothing. If somebody's getting offended by this, that's nothing comparing to what we have been going through. People should really be getting offended by, by all this kidnapping and cruelty and humanity behavior that we have been going through all this. The last thing that we need to worry is because somebody's playing salsa at Manolo's bakery. We need to be worried about how we are going to fix this situation.
Okay.
Yes, and that's why I brought it. And that has been also bringing like some issues. Like even my own community, my immigrant community is giving me a hard time because they said I'm running for office. I'm not running for office. I just want for you guys to buy bread. Trust me.
Thank you for all your suggestions of what we can do, because the Charlotte Observer this morning asked the question, no, I think I was reading the New York Times, asked the question, what do we do after the troops leave? It's not over then. It's just beginning everything. And so thank you for your suggestions. Also, we're getting mixed messages. Have the troops left or have they not? What are you seeing?
Yeah, thank you so much, because that reminds me a lot. There's a lot of things that even though the newspapers are telling and the media is not telling. As a person that was in the military forces, I can know and I can see that they did very well their homework. They knew where the biggest concentrations of immigrants are in Charlotte. They knew at what time the immigrants start walking in Central Avenue. They are sending undercover agents, wearing regular clothes inside of our businesses, taking pictures to our faces. Just little by little, we are going to start realizing all the evil things that these people are doing. But they are like, ahead of us. I think the only thing that they weren't expecting is this huge army of good people here in Charlotte and every single corner protecting us. So that is something, because that was different than Chicago and Los Angeles. Chicago was, Los Angeles, it was a big fight, throwing rocks to all of them. But here it was just good people in every corner, with the whistles and chasing them. And that make a huge difference. They hate to be recorded. And the only way that we are going to be able to take these people to court is when we have all these videos of, because they're big liars. So but they're still around, ICE is still around, and that's why I say I don't know when I'm going to be open the bakery in a full capacity. I'm going to be having cakes and desserts this week because Thanksgiving, but my kitchen is closed and some of my baking is closed too.
Thank you. Yes, I'm just curious. Why is it that no one's above the law? That's number one. Why is it that they're allowed to attack and slam and mistreat and abuse Hispanic people? To me, it's racial profiling. I don't know what anybody else. I'm from Philadelphia. I know racial profiling. Why have you thought of going to, since this is illegal, realistically, have you thought of going in front of city council? The mayor is for you. I'm surprised she's not here. No, I invited her. Have you thought of going in front of city council and demand that the ICE or the Border Patrol gives the people a warning? Why not a warning? Why not, you got 30 days, here's your petition. A petition. You're under arrest, but we're giving you a warning. Why can't they give them 30 days to get their stuff and their children or whatever they want to do and to get out instead of treating them worse than dogs? Have you thought about that?
It's not I haven't thought about it. I had done it. If you guys went, Well, if you go January 17 to watch the Change Baker film, it's like the director of the film had thought about everything that we felt and saw and did and happened this week. Because when he was 45, he did it. I went to my parking lot and kidnapped one of my employees. Two vans took one of my employees at the parking lot. They knew what time my employees come to work at the bakery. I already went through that. We went through that. They always have been here. What it check us right now, it was, all the brutality that they brought and all this. It was like 200 agents that came to this, but ICE always have been around. They had done all these things. So at the beginning of this year, I went to the county commissioners and I even brought Superman to the podium because Superman, believe it or not, is the most famous immigrant in USA. Remember, he wasn't born in America. He comes from another planet. Yeah, but I let the county commissioner know. I let the city councils know, and this week has shown us who really are the real heroes in Charlotte and who really are. There are like some leaders in our city that don't even need to call leaders. I'm sorry, but being sitting in an office and not being with us in the war zone, that makes you just a public employee, not a leader. I don't know why a lot of our elected officials didn't show up, in South Boulevard, Central Avenue, Gastonia, Concord, wherever all these people went. And they're accountable for that. And I'm going to be reminding them that, if you are the leader of this town, you need to be next to your people. You must protect your children. Our children are the mayor's children. Those children know they're going to grow, and they're going to remember this day, and they're going to know who was next to them and who wasn't next to them. And I'm going to make sure to remind those children too who were next to us and who didn't show up next to us. Thank you.
Yeah, Manolo.
Yes.
Hi. My name is Jennifer Parker, and you were so wonderful to help me when I worked for Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools in family and community engagement with Rosanna. And anytime I would go and ask Manolo for pastries and cookies, actually beg Manolo for pastries and cookies for school events, and he always came through. He never turned me down one time.
Thank you.
And better than that, he also would even deliver the pastries, and even he always brought more than we needed. So I wanted to thank you for that. You were such a good neighbor. That was back a couple of years ago, so thank you so much. I do have a question. From your perspective, how many people do you think have been detained, and where did they take them?
It goes from 250 to 377. We don't know yet how many people. And it takes between 1 to 2 weeks for the families to know where they are detained. Yeah. Some of them are like in Georgia, some of them are like Miami, some of them are in Louisiana, and sometimes families hear back from their families when they are in, back in their home countries. If I have believe it or not, I have high blood pressure and all those things. So if that happens to me or to anyone with some health issues, who is providing, medicines to these people? So yeah, we don't know. And now you mentioned all my donations. I want to share a story with you guys to show you how we all are heroes. We donate a cake to what we call homeless. We celebrate their birthdays. I've been doing that for 12 years. So when I hear about this nonprofit and they celebrate their birthdays, and I say, wow, that's so cool. Where you get the cake? And they say, we cannot pay for a cake. We can offer a cake. Well, from now on, you go to a bakery and grab a cake, and we celebrate their birthdays. So they came to the bakery, and I told them we're going to be picking a little cake for the person who's having the birthday, and they came to order a full sheet cake. And that's a very expensive cake. And that's every 2 weeks. So it was a time that I was having a hard time at the bakery. And I was thinking to approach this nonprofit and tell them, hey, would you come and just grab a small cake or a cupcake, a symbol of love for the person who's having the birthday and having a hard time. And when I was thinking that, somebody from the nonprofit approached me and says, are you the cake guy? I say, I guess so. And she said, you saved a life yesterday. And I say, you are mistaken. You know, I was at the bakery. I wasn't saving any lives. And she says, you save a life. How I save a life? Tell me how I save a life. And she said, well, we got around our neighbor, because they are our neighbors. We start singing happy birthday to you, and he started crying over the cake. And when we asked him, why are you crying? He said it was the first time in his life that he had a birthday cake. And because that cake and that celebration, he didn't kill himself. He got the gun out from his pocket with the gun that he was going to shoot himself that day. So if a cake can save a life, if a gesture of love can save a life, we all have a lot of power to save lives. So please, I invite you to all of you to have gestures of love. That happened in that corner, that happened in that bakery, that happens with all our immigrant community. That's what we bring to this nation. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the Siembre, North Carolina, did a wonderful training.
Yes.
And they gave us a number, which I've misplaced, so I want to ask for it. If you spot ICE, if you see the North Carolina Border Patrol, call this number.
Yes.
Do you know that number? Can you give us that number?
No, man, I don't have it right now. But remember, you have whistles there.
You have it. Okay.
Three short whistles is, eyes around. 3 long whistles is.
3 long whistles.
Is they are doing something. Yeah,
Right.
this became very powerful. Believe it or not, there's whistles on your table. Carry your whistles with you because they're still around.
Right. I'll just say the number, people can write it down. 704-740-7737. The number is 704-740-7737.
And that number is locally. If you're outside of Mecklenburg County, it would be 1-888-622-4616. Again, 888-622-4616. So if you're traveling outside of Mecklenburg County and you suspect ICE, that would be the number you also call.
And I'm going to be out of town this week, but maybe we can find people from our church communities who would do deliveries for you. If ICE is around.
Yeah. And you guys don't need to go to the bakery, but you guys just take a walk in Central Avenue will help us a lot. Just walking around in our neighborhood will make a huge change. Trust me, they are just brave when they are seeing our brown people walking in front, but they're brave, because they know that you guys are going to be fighting for us, then you know our rights and you know the Constitution, and we all vote. So that's our thing, the power that we have. We need to vote and vote. So believe in our Constitution and in our democracy.
And Siembre did a wonderful job with the training of talking about how not to escalate, how to, if ICE approaches you, fall away. If ICE approaches you directly, faint back. and just start singing. And they suggested that what we do if we see people being approached, we gather and we sing This Little Light of Mine. It was great training,
Yes.
and I hope it comes to our church too.
About this, you all have probably seen these little red cards that are being distributed today, which are very helpful to carry around and distribute. Do I need to? Here, let me talk a little louder. I was just saying these little red cards, which are being distributed today, have some very helpful information about how to interact with ICE or the Border Patrol, and it's also there's a whole lot through a SIEMBR training or other sources about how to tell if you're dealing with the police or if you're dealing with federal agents, and there are different sets of rules that apply to that. So those trainings are really valuable to understand those distinctions, and then particularly the necessity for a warrant in order to come into any private space. But that's not my question. Anyone who has been in your bakery not only is in store for wonderful baked treats, but also you have a very delightful staff. Just a great bunch of people working in there who clearly enjoy their jobs, they work hard, they enjoy each other. It's really, I always enjoy just dealing with them when I come into your shop. And two things, if you could read what's on your t-shirt, which you sell in the store.
Yeah, I have this in my store. So they are like pretty much sold out, but thank you, Pat. This is my non-profit by Immigrant Hands, by immigranthands.com. That's my non-profit. And you guys can buy these shirts in my non-profit, and the profits goes by my non-profit.
Well, also, if you could say a little bit about who works in your stores, if you could say a little bit about who works in your stores, where you get your employees and who they are.
Yeah, well, when I went to Stanford, I'm going to tell you the story how this came, and that goes to it's going to be your answer. When I went to Stanford, Stanford asked me, what is the treasure of your bakery? And I said, the hands of my bakers. You cannot have a baker without hands. I don't know if you're going to eat a piece of bread made like this, So then I thought, wow, how interesting. Everybody at the bakery is an immigrant, and everything that we made is with our hands. So that's how I start, made in America by immigrant hands. And I post that in my short, and I start working with my clothing. And everybody, hey, I want to buy that shirt, I want to buy that shirt, I want to buy that shirt. And that's how I create Made in America by Immigrant Hands. And now that's how I create Made in Charlotte by Immigrant Hands. But like almost 60% of the people that work at the bakery are women. Some of them are like, I have, like I said, the mother of 5 kids. I have another woman that her husband doesn't have legs, and every 2 weeks every 2 days he has to get dialysis. So she's the one who runs the house. I have another woman that in her days off, she used to get jobs through Facebook jobs. And one time she showed up with her kid and her husband, and it was ICE waiting for them, and they took the husband. And I have a grandma, a daughter, and a granddaughter working with me. And I have a father, a cousin, and a son working for me. It's like family. And the bakery was founded by my kids' grandpas in 1997 for the mother side. So it has been a family business since the beginning. The only thing that I tell my son and my daughter, I'm just running the business until you grown up, and then you guys decide what to do. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, but it's an immigrant family-owned business. That's the people that I employ at the bakery.
I have a question. My concern is the children. What happens with the children of the people that are detained? How are they taken care of?
I don't know. No idea about what happened. There have been some children that have been detained. I don't know what happened, how they treat the children. When he was 45, I went with my daughter and my son to Texas when they were having the kids and, sleeping in the floors. Through a lot of those children, after they were detained, a lot of them came here to the Greyhound station. I have plenty pictures of children in wintertime with no clothing, no food, and nothing. So the amount of cruelty that we have having through the years, it just, at the beginning, it wasn't the shadows. They were that visual, but the cruelty always has been there. And it's time for all of us. It doesn't matter if you live, in Alabama or Minnesota or Tennessee, one of these red states. When these red states start seeing, how children have been treated, this family separation, I think that's going to start making a change. But we need, Fox News interviewed me a lot of times this week, and I told them, look, I don't want criminals. I want safe borders. But this family separation must stop. What they were showing in the TV, oh, look at, all the illegals, what they're doing across the street from Manolo's bakery. That's sad. That's sad because we're never going to fix the problem if we keep lying. If the media, I'm not saying if it's too right or if it's too late, both of them are wrong. Stop the lying. There's people like me that wants to find a peaceful solution. I believe in the power of humanity. I always tell my daughter and my son, never lose faith in humanity. And we need to stop. We need to stop this division because we are not criminals.
This is yet another announcement. Some of us are called to prayer and some of us are called to action. I have an opportunity for both things. I'm part of a clergy mobilization group that's on Signal, and I did confirm that there is a Light Up the Night vigil tonight in your parking lot at 6:30. It's a candlelight vigil for peace and justice. Join the gathering to honor Charlotte's immigrant community, support those wrongly detained through recent raids by Customs and Border Patrol, and remember those whose families cannot locate them. Our neighbors need our support. So that's at 6:30 tonight at Manolo's Bakery. And I also just got a post on this thread that the Latin American Coalition needs volunteers this afternoon to help deliver food. They need donations of food all the time, and this afternoon they need volunteers to deliver. I have a number if anybody wants to write it down. It's 704-777-6045. So you can call Mr. Sanchez and let him know if you're interested. Say that again. Okay, yeah. Mr. Sanchez at the Latin American Coalition, which is on your sheet, needs food, volunteers to deliver food. And the phone number is 704-777-6045. They have already helped over 400 people in need who could not work last week. And they also need donations of food.
Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Catholic Church by the airport, their pantry is running out of food as well. So they really, and 7,000 immigrants go to that church between Saturday and Sunday. And by Wednesday, they were running out of food. So yeah, they need food as well. Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Catholic Church.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We have time for one more question, and then we'll wrap it up.
I just wanted to tell Anna Catherine, is she still? Yeah. I think, Anna Catherine, did you not provide all these whistles? And what are we supposed to do with these whistles? Just keep them with us all the time, and anytime we see ice or something going, we start blowing them?
Yeah.
And I wondered if everybody wants to just blow one right now while we can all blow them.
If you see ice, 3 short ones. Yeah. 3 short ones if you see ice. And if there are an action, if there are like hands on, 3 long ones. And keep repeating, yeah.
So if you will keep the whistles on your person, there are plenty to share. There's a basket on the end of the table with the baked goods. Take them with you, share them with your friends, share them with your neighbors. The more people that have them, the more we can alert our neighbors to.
And if there is more questions, more than happy to answer it here. I will say, yeah.
All right. One last item here. We're so thankful, of course, that you came out here today, you and Julia, to be with us and to share with us your experiences over the past week. But we also, as we've had a wonderful turnout this morning, to stand in solidarity with you and what you're doing in general, even before this, but especially over this last week. And we as a church want to give you a donation. So thank you for your good work you're doing.
Thank you so much. What I'm doing with this, I promise my employees I'm gonna be taking care of their rent and their food. So all the donations, they're going straight to my employees. They are going to pay their food and their rent. So as long as they need to be safe. Yeah. Thank you so much. I love you so much.